think this is good. Okay. So the reason we are not starting with actual practice today is because this session, this workshop is going to be about the composing part of Kathak. Okay. So the workshop name is storytelling in rhythm, right? And as you know, Kathak is based on storytelling. Okay. So basically Kathak means one who tells a story. So in earlier times, this is how it started, right? In earlier times, we had Kathak dancers, and they were like, musicians, dancers. They would do very basic folk dance kind of thing, but they would go to either go places like, or they would be in temples, where even now we have how kirtan cars and all are there, right? So we have that katha vachan, and so it was similar to that, and they would have music, some dancing with that, and they would narrate stories. So Mahasi, that is the origin of Kathak, and most other classical dances actually. So those people were called Kathaks or Kathik, and these, in fact, you can even you can find these terms even in like Mahabharata, like, or the olden scriptures. You can find these terms, so you know that they were there from that time. Then slowly some refinement came, usually how we progress, जैसे development होता है, the dance form, the art form gets refined little bit and little bit. So earlier there might be very simple rhythms, 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, like that. Then rhythms also evolved, right? Then we have what we call tal, and now they are more complex. Same with ragas and tal. So everything became more systemized.
So now is it still evolving, or it's now
always evolving? There's no full stop to any. There's always evolving, right? Nowadays it's a little different. If you see the history of any art form, you'll see how it has evolved. Right? So it started from here. Then when we had the Mughal rule, or in general before that, the Islamic invasion and everything. So that time, these dancers and these bards, they weren't, they didn't get that kind of recognition. Kabhi the temples were broken down, their livelihood was lost, and many of them, they went to the courts. So what they used to perform in temples now, but the court lifestyle is different, right? Now they have to please the emperor, the nobles. So the bhav part, right? Earlier kya tha? It's about narrating a story. It's about, so the bhav part became less, and even there some other style like pirouettes, heavy footwork, like where you can like showcase your technique, right? तो वो बढ़ गई ज़्यादा. And then similarly, like some other dance styles were also there, right? Like in the Islamic court, what happened? Dancers from around Asia came in. So you have seen the dervishes, Islamic dervishes, right? So they have that whirling, right? Yes, the swirling. वैसे अलग-अलग dance style as they came in, these Kathakars also were naturally influenced, right? There was a mixture of everything. So the pirouettes became prime in Kathak. Till then, lot of Indian dances you have seen, we have this bend knee, right? And we have more like this. We don't have this straight leg like that. But because of the pirouettes, because of the fast footwork, slowly the dance form also became more horizontal, like vertical, more vertical, rather than having that bended knee, because you can't move too much when you have that bended knee, right? But so probably in olden times there might not have been much distinction between Bharatanatyam and Kathak and Odissi, because they might have seemed similar. But as certain parts of the country, certain styles developed according to the atmosphere, according to what was necessary. So then Kathak also developed these forms. Now another thing, once our footwork became stronger, we had to be more sensitive and more understanding of tal, right? Rhythm. So rhythmic aspect became very important in Kathak. And because of how in the courts you want to show that you're the best, right? You want to showcase yourself. You want to show feats, right? Like feats of dancing. So then, how rhythm was important. You could show variation in rhythms. You know, you could compete with a musician, you know, who's playing tabla or something, and you can compete with them, right? With your rhythmic. So in this way, many times there was some competition between the khavaj player, the tabla player, or between two dancers, right? And this was also another thing added to it. In this way, you'll see many a times each things are all connected to each other. You know, so now we have a form of Kathak which is mostly vertical, very fast, which has a lot of pirouettes, lot of footwork, and you will see not many a times you'll see ki the ghagra and everything it covers us. We don't lift the foot too much, or like you know the other dance forms where thode folkish that happened, little folkish, so they would, you'll see more jumping kind of stuff, or you know other types of feats over there. Even in Kathak itself, like one gharana of Kathak practices a lot of dancing which have you know certain nuances, certain things that were practiced initially. Like you have seen that thali, dancing on the thali, right? Or dancing with diyas, right? Now these are certain things which probably were there earlier, but as the Lucknow style developed, you know, Lucknow is where the Kathak style developed, and that time all the Mughal influence was there, right? So that time you can see their way of speaking, way of talking, every other thing influence it. So you should not show, you know, certain things which aesthetically they are not pleasing, right? So things like that, and of course they were, you know, incorporated into Kathak. So we became more graceful. You know, the ideal dancer was graceful, ada, right? Full of grace and poise, not necessarily jumping and acrobatics. So that is how we've evolved. And today what we have, it is here. Bhav is still there. Another important thing that happened after this, after the independence. So before independence, when the British rulers were there, that time what happened, there was another negative this thing. Britishers, they all thought all the dancing is the same. And they would think dancing equivalent to what do you call, the brothel culture, right? There was distinction between what we call tawayafs, or you know dancers. So in actuality the whole family, so the descendants of the family, they would practice this dance style for generations, and they would also teach some of the dancing girls that were in the courts and all. But after the British came, it was hard for them to grasp the whole thing, so they all collectively called it bag, and they used to call nach, right? From nach girls they used to call. So once this idea of that nach came in, slowly the decline also came in, because what happened, people, they would think, okay, it's bad.
Associated the dance with the
It happened to all Indian arts, basically, not just dancing, happened to all Indian arts, where the Britishers suppressed the Indian arts so that their art can be more, you know, and sort of thought their art was superior. So it happened to every Indian art, and slowly it kind of only was, you know, you would find only a few families that had tenaciously hold on to it, and some parts of like where some dancers had hold on to the tradition. And then after independence, there was a lot of revival in Indian art in general, right? So we had figures like Rabindranath Tagore, Nandalal Bose, all of them, they revived Indian art. And same thing with Indian dancing. So all Indian dancing, whether it be Odissi, or Bharatnatyam or Kathak, so they all revived it and went back to the basics. And so now we again have come to a point where we have to say, okay, storytelling is Kathak. Kathak is not just rhythm, not just circles, not just you know acrobatics, but the particular thing that's most important is storytelling, Kathak. And this part of storytelling, which we have to maintain in our dancing. And in today's world, you can call it expression, self-expression, or expression, right? Because storytelling, we always think of stories like Ram, Krishna stories, like gods and gods. Yes, that is one part of it. But storytelling can also be contemporary storytelling. The basic idea is you take this art form and you use it in such a way that you express yourself, you express whatever is in your mind, so the other person is involved in it, understands it, and starts to think themselves. That's the whole point of expression. And so this we are going to talk about in this workshop. We all will learn technical parts of Kathak. That study won't stop. And in storytelling and in the bhav part, storytelling is called bhav, so emotions, bhav part, that also will start learning. So that usually, the bhav part is usually considered to be a little bit more advanced. So we start learning bhav part a little bit later. We first learn the technical stuff and start learning it, and then we add on the bhav part. Okay. Now in Kathak, there are three, in Indian dance, it's sort of divided into three parts called Nritta, so Nritta, you can write it. Nritya. So Nritta is Nritta. Nritta. Okay? And then Nritya. So Nritya.
The dance.
And then third, Natya. Okay. Now if you see the definitions, Natya means drama, right? So here it means bhav.
And
so emotions.
Three parts of what?
Of all dancing. According to Indian scriptures, all dancing is divided into these three parts. In Kathak, these three parts are, Natya is all the bhav part. So where only bhav is main important, more than the technical aspect or rhythmic aspect. So when you play a song, right, and you enact on it, right, or you have dance dramas, right, where you have Krishna based on Krishna or Ramayana or things like that, which is a whole, right, where there is a whole dance drama based on. Those all come in Natya bhav, okay, which emphasis is only on the bhav. There's no use of anything else. And you'll also find in Kathak we do, there's a part where thumris or whatever song is going on, the dancer will sit with like a shawl around them and will only through this upper body only emote the songs. So basically it halts completely, because you're sitting, it completely halts the moving and the footwork, any kind of footwork. So there's nothing of that sort. Basically you sit and you enact the whole song through your bhavs. That is considered very advanced, but it's a very important part of Kathak. Now in Nritta, Nritta is pure abstract dancing. So all the tukda tihais that we are learning, the footwork that we learn, is all part of Nritta. So any abstract dancing that we do, right, basically which doesn't have any words or no words or meanings are assigned to it, it's called Nritta, right?
And Nritya means purely dance.
And Nritya means it's a combination of both.
Combination
Yeah.
of
So
Natya and Nritya.
Yeah. So when there is expression but shown through rhythm, then it's called Nritya, right? So you must have heard of, and that is the part we are going to do today, right? So you must have heard of Kavita. You heard, there are Kavita is poem, right?
Kavita,
So Kavita is poem that is on rhythm. So for example, you go in the teen tal, right? The da din din da din din da din din da din. Murali Manohar, right? Things like that, or She Shamukuta Pitambar So. Then what am I doing? I'm actually having a poem that's based on the rhythm or the tal that I am working on. So that's an important aspect. There are other things called gat and gat bhav. Yeah, so these are, so you can write this down. These are the ways we show expressions or storytelling part in Kathak. So first is of course the entire song, or like we are showing a dance drama and that. Second is this kavita, where you're showing it through rhythm. You're showing a poem or an incident, or you're narrating a little story through it, and it's based on a certain tal or certain rhythmic structure. Right, so we are going to learn
So these are
kavita
basically
this year.
expressions, right? Like
Yes,
how?
expressions. So this year we will learn a kavita, and it will be based on this. Okay. Now another aspect is called gat bhav or gat nikas. Gat is only seen in Kathak. It's not usually seen in any other dance form. Gat means gait, like gati, right? Speed, but more like gait, like GAIT, gait. Okay, so what the dancer does is, the dancer will do a palta and then will take a certain pose, whatever it is. Suppose it's just a beautiful pose, it's a pose of a young woman, or pose of Krishna, or boatman, or anything, elephant. You could be showing anything, and the dancer will walk a certain way with the pose, and that walk will basically, that gait, that gut part will showcase the, so you're basically so you're showcasing that whatever you're showing. So if I'm doing a more gut, right, peacock gut, then I'll do the palta, I'll do the more pose, and I'll walk in such a way that it shows so the peacock you should actually imagine the peacock through your, and again this is again a very advanced dance style. So for gat and gat bhav, I would suggest to see the videos of Pandit Birju Maharaj. Okay. And you'll see that slowly you start with very rudimentary bhav, right, expression. So first you're doing, let's say you're doing peacock. Okay, so first you will do very rudimentary peacock, right? You'll you'll walk like a peacock. Then slowly you start adding nuances to it. So the way the peacock looks, right? It's like how the bird looks, like that. So you try to get that essence of the bird in your.
So gat basically is a pose but in motion.
Exactly. So just that walk, right, just that walk establishes the whole personality of whatever you're showing. If it's Ram, if it's Krishna, if it's, let's say, it's baby Krishna, you don't know which Krishna it is, but the way you're walking, if it's Krishna, he'll be mischievous, he'll be walking like not straight, here, there, like that. So immediately that character of Krishna as a young toddler or as a young lad, it will immediately be in your mind. It will stay there. So you have to become that you're showing, and it's just a walk, nothing else. There are no words, nothing.
So gat and gat bhav is the same thing?
No, gat. So this is the gat. Okay, and gat, later on we have gat bhav. Now gat is very small. Usually it's a walk, here walk, there walk. You show the walk and that's it. You're just showing the personality or character of what you're showing. Gat bhav is where you show the whole story. So let's say if you're showing Makhan Churi, or you're showing Govardhan, Parvat, or you're showing many Kaliya Daman, whatever stories it is, you show through gat bhav. Again, there is no music in gat bhav. So no music, only rhythm, like basic rhythm is going on. No words is not music, no words. So no words, basic rhythm, and background music is like what we have for Lehra Nagma. Same like that. And rhythm is the same. So that is going on where based on that rhythm now you have to show the whole story. So you take Palta, you become Krishna. Let's say you're doing Kaliya Daman, right? You become Krishna, right? You show Krishna is walking, playing with his friends. You take Palta, you become Kaliya, right? Now Kaliya is you're in the river and you're the big, snake.
How we did for that Maya Mori Mani Makhan. So once he became Kanhaiya and then he became his mom too.
Yes, the same dancer
Same
will
that,
always,
right?
yes,
Same.
yes, yes. So Kathak has always been a singular dancer. This dance drama is actually a very, it's not a typical Kathak this thing. So always one dancer shows everything. Whether you are
So
doing
that
bhav,
is an example that
yeah, whether you're doing bhav, like whether you're dancing on a song or whether you're doing gadbha or doing only one dancer will show everything. But in here especially, you will see that because now there are no words also, right? In the song there are words to accompany you, so you kind of know what is going on. Here you have to almost like mime the entire thing, but still be on the rhythm. So like if let's say I'm playing the ball, right? I'm playing ball as Krishna with my friends. Now I have to be Krishna. I have to play ball on the rhythm, right? You can't just do like hi.
Lucky celebration.
Oh,
Hi.
how are you?
Thank you. I told her I
It's
have a
okay.
class. I have to go.
Good. Come.
Yes.
We are waiting, and I mean, not dancing yet. We are listening. I'm talking about different types of bhav that we have in Kathak, and we have come till what we call Gad bhav. Okay, so I have recorded it. So so we have the previous one. So in Gad bhav, there's only rhythm and music, no words in it. Now let's say I'm being Krishna and I'm playing with my friends. Now I won't just throw the ball and get the ball. No, I have to do it on the beat to be. So ta thai thai tat a thai thai tat ta thai thai tat a thai thai tat ta thai thai tat a thai 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 tat. Right? So you have to dance on the beat, and you have to take the help of the beat to give it that extra distinctive, right? Like let's say I'm diving into the water as Krishna, and go da thai thai tat a thai thai tat ta thai thai tat a thai da 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 thai, like that. Okay, so that is very interesting part of Kathak, and you will see the whole story you narrate just based on the music. That's it, on the rhythm. That's it. No words, nothing. So here, as a dancer, you have lots of, and also it's more free. Like there's not, you have to be here. There's more freedom here. And it's more spontaneous also, because you have to, as you go into the story, you come up with things. Sometimes on the spot you'll come up with something, right? So this is called Gad bhav. We won't learn Gad bhav now. We'll learn Gad, and we'll learn Kavita this year. Gad bhav it's again a little bit more advanced. We are going to learn it in third or fourth year. Now after this, so these are basic the bhav parts that we learn, the Kavita, the music, the songs that we know. So many songs are there. They could be bhajans, thumris, ghazals, different types of songs. And there's Gad bhav and Gad nikas. These are all used for expressions in Kathak. Now in Maharaji's, when I say Maharaji, I mean Birju Maharaji. Birju Maharaji had a very unique take on Kathak. And he always used to see he in like rhythm in everything. And so you can see when you see one of his programs, you'll see that often he's doing these nritya part, which is pure technical abstract Kathak dancing. But he sees something, some part of nature in it maybe, or some expression or bhav in it. And this is very unique to him. So for example, let's say we do a tihai. Okay, now you all know tihai, so I'm taking tihais, right? Tihai is something which you repeat 3 times to come on the sun. So simple tihai, like let's say, one of his favorites, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this is very simple tihai, anybody can do it. So The tihai is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay? And you repeat it 3 times. Now this is simple tihai. When we learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Right? This is the abstract dancing part. Now we are using numbers, sometimes bowls, whatever, in the rhythm to make it beautiful. Now he added bhav to it. So imagine 3 animals. You have the deer, you have a cow, and you have a tiger, right? The cow, how it goes, it's very sant kind of like, peaceful kind of animal. It goes peacefully. There's no up and down in her. The deer, it's very like, gentle, like very, so it will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5, 6, 7. And the tiger, 5, 6, 7. Like, it has that, that rubab, yeah, the ferociousness. So just by using these numbers, now imagine the 3 animals, and you can imagine and you can see it when you say it the certain way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Deer. No, it's always on the lookout, very alert. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tiger. So just little bit of change in our tone, the way we say it, and now immediately you can actually feel a little story in here. Right? You can actually feel the 3 animals here. So even in abstract dancing, to make it, to give an expression to it, right? It's not that abstract dancing and technical dancing has to be like, dry and not like that. It's not always a competition. It's how you play with it. And this is what we're going to learn, how to use bhav into these abstract abstract compositions. Okay, I'll give you one more example. There's a very like a paranama you'll learn in next year, which is very common tukda. Okay, dha ta ta thum da, dha ge di ge dha, dha de ta ke da ta ka thum ga ta ke ta ga, like that. So everybody knows this. We all use it for the starting of the dance of paranama. Now I have made little changes to it, and I have added. So the tukda is dha 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 ta ga tum da ga da dha ti ge dha 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 de ta dha de ta dha de ta. Right? It's like simple changes, and it's a new tukda. Now these changes I've made keeping into mind, like when you go to the mountains and you say dha, and then you hear an echo. Right? So that echo feel I try to put in this tukda. So now I'll say it a little differently, the same tukda, but you'll feel it different. So dha 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 ta ta tum ga dha 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 ge di ge dha 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 de ta dha de ta dha de ta dhitta kid dha dhitta kid dha dhitta ta ke ta ka ti ti ta ga di ge dha 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 dha. So now it's the same, right? The same tukda I said earlier is the same paran, but now I changed the way I looked at it. Right? So when I dance, I will also dance in such a way that people can also visually get that concept. Okay, so here it starts with what you can put your imagination into your compositions. The composition that I will teach you, of course, the way we have learned, which is the abstract dancing, and we learn rhythm with it, we learn tal, right? We learn the concept of, we learn how to do our hastaks, our feet, everything. But you try to put something of yours in it, right? Whether it could just be a way of saying it which makes it more beautiful. It could be a way of saying it which makes it, you think of something, right? And so today we will try to have our own compositions, small ones. That's why I gave you the first one, which was with numbers, right? Which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. and you can make composition with numbers too. है ना? So we will today, what I am going to do is I'm going to teach you how to make a composition now, like and now you take this information that I've given you and I want you to think about it today so that you'll able to make something and show it to me tomorrow. And we are going to work on those and see how to make them grow, like how to make them come out in its entirety, right? which is the flowering of something, flowering of your bowl. So today you try that and we will work on it some more tomorrow. Now this is the expression part of it. Okay, you keep this, but the basic structure on how to make a composition, for us it will be a tihai, because you guys know tihais. There are other parts but you don't know the other form. You know tukda, you know tihai, right? So let's work on tihai because we can easily use numbers, right? You can either use tigda dik dik thai, which you know those, tathi thai ta tathi thai tat. Yeah, I think those two you know. So you can use either of these, tat tat, or you can use numbers, up to you. Okay, now how to do tihai, let's see the structure. Now the technical part of how to do a composition, right? This is the expressive part, you keep this in your mind always. Now the technical part, how do you do a composition, a tihai in any tal? So the tal we are taking is 16 beats, right? Now you always have to add one beat to it, remember, because we finish on 1. So always, if you are making a 16 beat composition, you will always add 1 to it. So you can either have a composition of 17 beats, or you can have 33 beats, right? Because 16 plus 16, 32, and plus 1, 33, right? Or so on. Every time you add, you have to add 16, and at the end of it you have to add 1. So how many loop cycles you want, you can take. I suggest take 1 or 2, not many, because this is just a starting for you. And 33 is a great number. You can easily divide 33 into 11, 11, 11, right? So because we are doing tihai, this last number, whether it's 17, 33 or any more, you have to divide it into 3 to get one piece, whatever, because it has to be the same, and the distance between them, the gaps between them have to be the same too, right? So if you take 17, remember the gaps have to be uneven. So it might be a little bit difficult, so I suggest take 33. So 11, 11, 11. Now you have to make a composition based on 11 matras, and then you repeat those twice to come on the sum. Okay, you can use numbers, you can use tathi theta tathi theta, use tika theta. Okay, let's start with some simple ones today that we'll all create right now, and then you create some at home. Okay, all right. So I'm going to put the tika on for you.
Stop the recording and